I'm Erin Christopoulos, a mother of two and teacher-turned-mom strategist who puts the pieces of mom life together so you don't have to. I get that you're short on time and don't have the capacity to figure out everything on your own, which is why I'm here to help you get clear on where to put your focus while protecting your time and energy so you can actually enjoy these years with your little ones. I'm ditching the overwhelming and unrealistic one-size-fits-all tactics and replacing them with an approach that's practical and personal, because I believe your family is one of a kind with its own qualities and values that deserve an adaptable approach, offering support and encouragement where you need it most. From honest conversations and mindset shifts to practical tips and sustainable strategies, consider this your customizable guide to mom life. With the tools and resources you need at your fingertips, you'll finally have the confidence and clarity you need to bring more intention and ease to everyday life so that you and your family thrive. This is the Mom Life Handbook. So with all this talk about the holidays and wanting to help make it easier and more stress-free for you, I realized it would probably also be helpful to document a little bit of my own process and journey, just to make sure that you feel a little less alone and hopefully realize that I definitely don't have it all figured out either. I am definitely someone who gets stuck in the moment and has a really hard time looking ahead and making sure I just get one step ahead of where I should be. And it's something I'm working on. So I'm trying to share my insights and ideas and the tips and tricks that I use. And some of them I'm using in real time. And some of them I'm sharing and not using because I hope they might fit your personality or your dynamic in a way that is meaningful. So that's partly my job. Actually, that's entirely my job. So I never want you to think that just because I'm sharing all these ideas that it means that I'm using them, because I'm definitely not. So today I'm sitting down and outlining the second podcast in the Ready, Set, Holiday mini-series. And I want to focus on helping you see that getting your holiday plans in order is not about making it any more complicated than it already is. I think sometimes when I think about I need a plan, that feels really daunting. It feels like it has to be really elaborate and that it'll only work if we follow the plan exactly as we intended it. And the truth is that's never going to come together. That's never going to work out. We can't accomplish that level of consistency when we are as busy as we are. So I want to come up with some ideas that are going to feel really meaningful and something that you can do on a whim. I'm not talking about coming up with a whole big multi-week plan, because it's just not going to be sustainable unless you really carve out the time to come up with a really intentional plan, which we're not getting that done in a 20-minute podcast episode. So anyway, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to work on that for you, and then I'll just check back in over the rest of the week to just update you on things I'm doing, thoughts going through my mind, very off the cuff. And yeah, I'm curious to see how this plays out. I personally have to get a start on my holidays. I've been so busy gearing everyone else up for it, and it's helped me really get my head wrapped around this as well. So now we take action together. Can't wait. All right, it's Tuesday. And I took a little time to just look at the calendar. I wanted to see how much time I actually have before the year ends, which we're just under 10 weeks away from the start of 2024, which when I saw that, it was a little shock to the system. I'm like, I know how fast this goes. And when you add in all the busyness of the holidays on top of everyday life, it's going to go in the blink of an eye. So now I'm really motivated to sit down and really flesh out what are my top priorities on the calendar, and then figure out what we actually have room for after that. And that's really what this week's podcast episode was about anyway. So now it's about taking that action. But in case you haven't listened to part 2 of the Ready, Set, Holiday podcast mini-series yet, do check it out, because I am quite pleased with the 4 strategies that I'm sharing there. I think they're really practical,
very low lift, but just kind of help you get in that frame of mind of like, okay, there are little things I can do right now, even if I'm super swamped, that will save me time and stress later. So I'm going to sit down and do that now. I did one exercise on just being realistic about the amount of time you have. So I'm going to focus on that. I'll report back later on how it goes. I probably won't get to it till tomorrow. So stay tuned.
It's Wednesday, and I took, I think, less than 5 minutes to look ahead at whatever priorities I decided really do matter. Now, I kept this pretty essential, and we are not hosting anything except for a Halloween party. So I don't have to worry about Thanksgiving, and I don't have to worry about Christmas. So, actually, I do, now that I think about it. So I'm going to add that right now. But glad I said something. We usually just have a few people over. So it'll be something casual for Christmas Day, but important nevertheless. We are traveling for both Thanksgiving and so I wanted to make sure I accounted for those trips and just making sure I have enough time to fit everything in. So I would prefer to get all the extra holiday to-dos done before winter break starts. Now, I'm in a position where I get that I can do that more easily than if I were going into, a teaching job every day or some other kind of career. It would look very different. But given with where I'm at now, my goal is to be done with these things prior to winter break so that I can enjoy that time with the kids or be flexible with anything that, comes up unexpectedly. So what I did is I grabbed a sheet of paper and I made a list of whatever came to mind as being my top priorities for the rest of the year, which is a little under 10 weeks. But then I went ahead and said, well, it's about 8 weeks till winter break starts. So I divided that up into 4 quadrants. So the next week or two, the next 3 to 4 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks, and 7 to 8 weeks. And then I was able to take my list of priorities and divide them up into the 4 quadrants. So I only have about 2 to 3 tasks to complete or focus on in each of the 4 sets of weeks that are coming up. Okay, I'm about to run to school pickup, but I wanted to check in, give you an update on what I did with those 4 sets of to-do lists, those 4 quadrants I made. So again, the quadrants are weeks 1 to 2 from now, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7 to 8. And all I did was grab 4 sheets of paper and write out a more thorough list of the smaller tasks that I need to focus on in those weeks. So now I have a file of them and I'm just going to pull them out every 2 weeks when I'm doing my weekly reset, make sure that I'm staying on track. And it feels good to have that planned so I can at least keep those top of mind. I don't expect that that's going to play out perfectly, but it gives me something to go off of and it keeps my expectations realistic. So that was my process today. I think I'm done for the week. I don't really need to do anything else right now. So I think that is all I have to update on this week. If you liked this bonus diary of my own holiday prep, let me know. Drop it as a review on the show. I know that sometimes I have a hard time finding it. If you just go to the show and you scroll down past the information in the episodes, you'll see a spot to just either drop stars. 5 stars are always appreciated, but whatever you feel like is fair. And if you really liked this bonus series, just let me know as a comment, as a review. So just something like, loved the bonus diary for holiday prep or whatever you want to call it. And I've been putting together a couple of surprise resources that I think I'm going to drop for you in real time, like this weekend. So if you want to get on the email list, I am going to be sharing 12 scripts for how to say no over the holidays. And I've broken them up according to who you're saying no to, from friends and family to coworkers to your kids and to yourself. And then I'm also sharing my list of top 10 ways to simplify your holidays. So if you want to grab those, just go to .com/newsletter. You can drop your email there and you'll start getting those emails right away and you won't miss a thing. I'm here to help you simplify your holidays as I simplify my own. And I know that you can do this. I know it feels like a big task, but hopefully hearing just the simple things I've done in a few minutes each day this week, I'm already setting myself up for so much less stress and more success than if I waited until, I don't know, late November like I used to. So I hope this has been inspiring, and I'll check back with you next week with the third and final part of the Ready Set Holiday mini-series. We're going to talk about getting over the perfectionistic mindset, or just I think some of the ideals that we sell ourselves on, or the high standards that just aren't serving us or doing us any favors. So I'll check back then. Bye for now. You've just finished another episode of the Mom Life Handbook podcast. Remember to check out the episode description for all the important links and highlights from today's show. While you're there, tap the subscribe button so that new episodes are always at your fingertips. Before you go, I'd really appreciate hearing your thoughts about the show. It takes as little as 30 seconds to leave a review, and your honest thoughts help me create a better show and help other moms discover it too. And if this episode really helped you out, go ahead and hit the share button to text it to a friend or share it on social media. You never know who in your life might benefit from a little extra support. Don't forget, there are lots of ways to stay connected beyond the podcast. Head over to momlifehandbook.com for additional resources or to learn about how to work with me. And be sure to follow along on Instagram at momlifehandbook. Send me a DM to say hey or to share your thoughts on today's episode. Connecting with you personally is what I really love most. And just in case you need to hear it today, you're doing an incredible job. I know it doesn't always feel like it, but you're here, learning how to be better and do better. Keep working to bring more intention and ease into your life, and know that I'm right here cheering you on. You're creating a beautiful journey for you and your family. I am so proud of you.